the world's largest Italian cruise, planned to sail for a 7-day European tour. The ship was named the Costa Concordia. It was so big that not only was it bigger than the Titanic, but it could seat an additional 2,000 passengers. That's why 4,252 people are on board. If we talk about entertainment, the ship had everything. 4 big swimming pools, 5 restaurants, 13 different bars, a casino, a basketball court, a huge fitness center which had a gym, sauna, and Turkish bath. And an F1 racing simulator was installed in the cruise ship. The first destination of the ship was Savona, a city in Italy. It was supposed to take a day to reach there, but only 2.5 hours after the ship departed, everyone heard a sudden piercing noise. After that, all the lights on the ship went off and the ship started tilting towards one side. The time was 9:45 p.m., a time when some people were sleeping in their rooms, some were eating at the dining table. Passengers were told via intercom there was an electric failure on the ship, but the fact was that the engine of the ship had completely failed. The captain of the ship was hiding this fact from the people. After a while, the ship started tilting to the other side. By then, the passengers somewhat realized that this was not an ordinary electrical failure. People were worried that this was another incident similar to Titanic's. Coincidentally, the Titanic accident happened exactly 100 years ago, which was 1912, and this has happened in 2012. And now, the ship started tilting more. It tilted to the right side and the lower rooms were being filled with water. By then, people had realized that the ship was going to sink. But why were the passengers not being told? Why was the ship's captain so quiet? Let's check everything in this video. Hello everyone, I'm Janani. Welcome to Jan's Times. The Costa Concordia that we are talking about today is the biggest Italian cruise ship of its time. The cost of making it was $570 million at that time. That particular day, the captain of the ship was Francesco Schettino, an Italian man who had been working for this company since 2002. Remember his name because he plays an important role in this story. At 7:18 p.m., the ship left for its first destination Savona, and only 2 hours had passed that the ship deviated from its normal route. It was not a mistake. Captain Schettino wanted to take the ship by a particular island, the Giglio Island in Italy. He wanted the people of the island to see the glittering ship in the dark of the night. Normally, such big ships sail at a distance of 7 to 8 kilometers from the shore well into the sea because the water needs to be deep enough for such a big ship to sail. But this ship was only 150 meters away from the shore. Obviously, the water was not very deep. There can be big rocks or reefs under the ship at this close. On top of that, it was nighttime and the ship was sailing at an unsafe distance very close to the shore. One question that will raise here is, why was the captain doing this? The thing is, Captain Schettino used to work under Senior Captain Mario Palumbo. Mario was living on the Giglio Island. The night the ship was passing by this island, Captain Schettino called Mario and told him that since they would be passing by the island, they would sound a siren for him. It's like a tribute to the senior captain. But the senior captain said he's not in the town and he's somewhere else in the country. But the thing everyone feared happened immediately. The ship collided with the rocks in the water. This collision tore the hull of the Concordia ship. The ship's sensitive part was injured by a 70-meter-long wound. The place where this impact happened was not even 100 meters away from the island. In the darkness of the night, the ship had reached so close to the island, water started flowing into the ship rapidly. Within the 15 minutes of that time, the engine room was like completely submerged with water and it could not be opened at all. By exactly 9:52 p.m., a few of the chief engineers tried to start the emergency diesel generator. Unfortunately, they failed in this attempt. But by this time, the Captain Schettino informed to the passengers that there was nothing to worry about and it was a simple blackout.
Con il salone. Una volta che noi abbiamo finito di sistemare il problema che abbiamo elettrico, il problema elettrico del generatore, tutto sarà calma. Per quello che abbiamo questa luce di emergenza, è tutto sotto.
At around 10 p.m., Captain Schettino felt that the ship should be turned around. He reasoned that if they sank, it would be more dangerous to be in the middle of the sea. So it would be better to stay near to the island. The ship took a U-turn and thus instead of being upright, it started tilting to the other side. In the meanwhile, some distressed passengers tried to call the local police. So only after that, the captain acknowledged that there was a problem in the ship. At 10:12 p.m., the Italian Coast Guard called the ship's captain, and the captain said, "Still nothing to worry, it's a simple black." And he said he will keep them informed. When this was said, it was half an hour had already passed after the accident. 20 more minutes passed, and finally captain changed his stance. After all, how long could he suppress the truth with his lies? At 10:30 p.m., he called the Coast Guard and confirmed that there has been a collision on the left side of the ship and the Concordia needed the help of tugboats. Finally, at 10:33 p.m., a general emergency alarm was raised. Just imagine, more than 4,200 people were stuck on the ship, and the ship was tilted by 30 degrees. And every 10 minutes after that, it was tilting more and more, like to 40 degree and 50 degree. As they reached near to the island, some people who were confident that they could swim, they jumped into the water. But after the alarm signal by the captain, chaos started. The mob of passengers ran towards the lifeboats. The captain, who delayed the emergency alarm for an hour, did an unexpected thing that no other captain would do in this situation. As soon as he made the announcement, within some minutes, at 11:19 p.m., he was among the first crew members to abandon the ship. Despite being civilians, the Giglio village deputy mayor and the people tried to bring the tugboats and help the passengers. When the sun rose the next morning and the ship could be seen properly, people actually realized the magnitude of the incident. The rescue operation lasted for 2 to 3 weeks. With the help of Italian Navy, Coast Guard, fire and rescue service teams, they were able to save most of the passengers except 32 who died by drowning in the water. If the captain had informed about the incident promptly, their death could have been prevented. The next problem was the ship contained around 1.9 million liters of fuel, and the extraction process began in February 2012, which lasted more than a month. And then the next thing was to set the ship up straight. A steel structure was built in the water. Work on this started a year later in April 2013. Finally, in July 2014, the ship was transferred using a tow ship. You must be wondering what happened to the captain. The guy who was the sole reason behind this incident was sentenced to 16 years in jail on manslaughter charges. Along with the captain, other 5 high-ranking officers were also arrested and sentenced to do 2 years.
In conclusion, the tragic sinking of the Costa Concordia in 2012 serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of negligence at sea. This incident claimed the lives of 32 individuals due to one simple yet catastrophic mistake. Let us honor those who bravely rescued and aided the survivors. Thank you for watching, and may we never forget the lives lost aboard the Costa Concordia.